Hi everyone, I'm Leorah and welcome back to my channel. Now today I'm going to just start with a question for you. Have you ever found yourself in a drugstore in the makeup section and you were wondering, what am I going to buy? And are all those different brands going to work for me? Or can I go for a very, very affordable makeup brand that probably has less quality and all these things, all these questions, did they like pop up in your mind and you end up maybe not buying anything, or you bought all the wrong things and then you went home and you were disappointed when you tried them out? So today this is my topic. Should you go for the cheaper brands, for the affordable brands or not? Does it work? Does it not work? My opinion on all this is coming up right now. Hi, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to my channel again. I'm so excited to have you here, and I'm so happy that I have now already a few more subscribers. And please, 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 if you're new here, join the tribe and subscribe right down here because we want to be on this journey together. My question for you today is, have you ever found yourself wondering, should I buy that affordable brand or not? And if so, what did you decide? Please leave your comments, please leave the name of the brands, and yeah, I just would be very, very interested in finding out your experiences. So, before I go into today's topic, I'm so happy to tell you that this is my last video that I'm shooting in my living room, because my beauty room is like this close to being finished, and I'm so excited about this. I can't wait. I hope it's going to be really, 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 really nice. And yeah, so stay tuned because we're almost there. Anyway, so let's go into the drugstore and affordable makeup topic. Okay, here in Israel, we don't have Sephora and we don't have Ulta, and it is a little bit like walking through the desert, really, when it comes to makeup. We do have a drugstore that's called Superfarm, and they do have a makeup section with the usual brands like Rimmel London, like L'Oreal, like Maybelline and Max Factor and a few other brands. And that's okay. We do have MAC. They are, of course, not in the drugstores. They are like high-end stores that are on their own, stand on their own. And yeah, we do have Il Maquillage, and maybe in Tel Aviv, I don't know, there might be some other brands, but I live in Jerusalem, so that's basically what there is. So sometimes very frustrating for someone who really, really would like to try new things, and but that's what it is, and that's what we have to deal with, and that's also what makes you maybe be a little bit more, willing to try to deal with all kinds of challenges that come with the affordable brands. So let's start going into the pros and cons of drugstore makeup. Okay, so I'm glancing down once in a while because I have a list so I don't forget anything. All right, so let's start with the pros of drugstore makeup. So first of all, obviously it's less expensive. I mean, if you pay for an eyeshadow palette of, let's say, 16 shades, you pay maybe $13. And if you go to someone's calling on the other phone. Anyway, all right, so you can basically pay for an affordable brand. You can pay like $13 for an eyeshadow palette, and at the same time you can pay for the same size eyeshadow palette $120 for a high-end product. Is it always worth that money? I have my doubts, really. Okay, and I cannot speak from experience because I have never ever owned a high-end product when it comes to makeup. I would love to. I'm not saying I'm not like wanting this, but I've never tried one. So the next point for drugstore makeup is that it is very convenient and readily available everywhere. You know, everywhere there's a drugstore. So that's very, very easy and accessible. There are brands that actually do have very high quality products that sometimes beat the high-end products. If you go and watch the big YouTube bloggers that who compare this concealer to that concealer, a drugstore concealer to a high-end concealer, and they actually show you that the drugstore concealer works just as good or even better, then why pay double or triple the price, right? Why do that? And it is actually also a very good way for beginners to build up a makeup collection and to start, you know, because in the beginning you just try stuff and you don't want to waste maybe a lot of good high quality product on trying stuff out. So I think those are really good reasons, especially for beginners who are just getting into all of this, to go for drugstore makeup. In preparation for all of this, I went into the internet and I looked what people wrote about pros and cons for drugstore makeup. Okay, so the cons I found, they might not have a lot of pigment, the eyeshadows or whatever, and I do not necessarily agree with that, because just look at my makeup today. Do you think this is high-end? Well, it can't possibly be, because I've just told you that I don't own any high-end makeup, right? This, and I'll show you later, I'll show you the actual products. These are eyeshadows for like $13, the whole palette. And I have no reason to complain, and I'll go into it later. I'm just telling you, I'm not agreeing with that point. But there is actually something you can do to enhance the drugstore eyeshadows or the drugstore foundations by wearing eyeshadow primer or primer in general. That really, really, really does help a lot. Okay, so that should be a given. You should do that. The next point they gave on the internet is drugstore makeup doesn't last as long. Again, I don't agree. I put on my makeup at 3:30 in the morning, and yeah, I know it's crazy, but that's what I do. And it stays on till something like 10 o'clock in the evening. And if I'm really, really lucky, and when my kids, my little ones, are going down for a nap, and I get to go down for a nap too, I sleep like this, I look exactly like this afterwards. So I do not necessarily agree with that. But again, I'm priming my face and nothing moves, except maybe, you know, some rub off on the nose, but that happens with high-end products too, you know, that the foundation maybe rubs off, or the powder, and you have to just retouch it during the day. But eyeshadow-wise, or eyeliner or mascara, it stays put the whole day. The next point is it can look a bit cakey. I do agree with that. They have a point there. And another point is that you usually, when you buy drugstore makeup, you do not get a lot of professional guidance to color match your foundation or whatever. I also just see now that my face in the camera looks much darker than my neck. So that is because usually I go cool stuff like this. And then it's perfect. And today I'm just exposing skin that is usually not exposed to the sun. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You get the point. And in addition to that, if you do get professional guidance, then it is not necessarily professional guidance. I had a thing happen to me just maybe 2 weeks ago where I went to our local drugstore and I was looking for something, a makeup related item, and several of those beauty experts came to me and said, wow, your makeup, and close your eyes and let me look, and how did you do that? And we were talking, and then they said, yeah, and I've just started doing makeup like 4 weeks ago, and I've never worn makeup before, and I was just looking for a job, and I'm in shock. I mean, I knew that they are not trained makeup artists, but 4 weeks, really? So how can you possibly, even with the best intentions, give a recommendation to a customer? How? I don't get it. Anyway, stunning. Good. So that is one of the cons, obviously. With some of the very, very cheap brands, you might have problems with skin. If you have sensitive skin, it might break out your skin. I personally have no issue with that. I never break out. I have no, but it happens. I've seen it happen, and I've heard about it, so I just wanted to mention that. And if you aren't skilled, it can sometimes be a little bit problematic to apply the more affordable makeup brands, because they sometimes don't blend as well, or sometimes there are issues. But also there, I must say that the new brands that I have tried out recently, they have actually blown me away, because I went into trying them very suspicious. And because I tended usually more to the high-end of of the drugstore brands like L'Oreal and like Max Factor and Maybelline and Jade. And now recently I have sort of jumped into the cold water, and I have started to try brands like Sakara, Miluka, Essence, Rimmel, and Beauty Care. Beauty Care and Miluka and Sakara are local Israeli brands for everybody who's not from here. And they are very, very, very affordable. And I am actually very surprised how decent they are. I wouldn't say they are the best, and you feel the difference to like L'Oreal or Jade, but you can totally work with it. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to in general mention about that. And now I want to just show you what I'm wearing today. So I started, after of course putting moisturizer and sunscreen on, I started with the Sakara primer. It's very, very affordable. It's something like 25 shekels, which comes out to, what is it in dollars? It's like, what, $8 or less? Someone calculate, please. Anyway, it's very, very, very affordable, and it is very decent, very decent. And then I primed my eyelids with the Essence eyeshadow primer. A very decent product for $3. And I use that not only for the area of the eyeshadow, I also use that on my nose before applying the foundation, because that actually helps to keep the foundation in place. Just as a little, trick on the side. It does help. I've just started trying that and a few weeks ago, and it really does help. So then I want to show you the BB cream from Leorah. First of all, it smells really, really nice. Because sometimes those cheaper brands, they smell like chemicals or something, right? But this actually smells really nice. And it's, you can even wear it without like putting foundation if you just want to go for a more natural look. And use that as foundation. It comes with SPF 15, which for me personally is not enough. That's why I'm putting like a sunscreen really of SPF 50 underneath. But for whoever is more exposed to the sun and more used to it and maybe is not as fair as I am, it might be enough. It comes in 2 shades, a dark shade and a light shade. I obviously have the light shade. So very good also. Then what I do is I use a color correcting concealer from Essence, which costs, let me just check my notes. It costs $4, which is, here in Israel it costs 10 shekels. Just taking the label off quickly. Here, so you can see the color correcting. It comes in 3 colors. They have this color, the skin color, then they have like a pinkish color and a greenish color depending on what your discoloration is. I have them both here, but I'm using basically only this because I do not have a lot of discoloration or like a lot of purple under my eyes. So this is what I use here. Then I put on my foundation, my liquid foundation, which right now I'm using Max Factor Miracle Match. It looks very messy, but that's because I'm very passionate about using it. I'm using the shade Porcelain. It's a very, very light shade, obviously, and I have the feeling that by now it is already a little bit too light for me. I started using it at the beginning of the winter, and now I think it's already a little bit too light for me, but I like to use up products because if I wait till it's winter again in Israel, you know what, I might just then have to throw it out. So I make up for that in using a little bit darker powder. So yeah, so that's what I'm using. Then on top of that, I use a concealer, again from Essence. That is a little bit more than $4. Very, very affordable. It's called Essence Stay All Day 16 Hours Long-Lasting Concealer. And it's good enough. It does the job. I mean, you don't see anything on my face that is not good, right? So I use that usually again here and sometimes also around here. And, you know, depending on if I have any breakout, but I really don't break out much. So I usually just use it again to even out this area and sometimes a little bit around the nose if they are red, you know, if I had allergies or something. Yeah. And I all blend all these things with traditional beauty blender. And then I use the, where is it? Here. The Leorah loose powder in the lightest shade they have. They have, I think, 3 or 4 shades. This is the lightest shade. It is a little bit cakey, but nothing that I can't handle. And it's not really uncomfortable or something. I mean, even if I would zoom in now, I mean, it looks fairly, like, it looks okay. For the price, it is, let me check, it's ridiculous. I don't even want to say, it's like, well, $2. Yeah. So that is Leorah, an Israeli brand. Good. So that's basically all the foundation work done. Then for today's makeup, I used 2 eyeshadow palettes. So first of all, the Leorah eyeshadow palette. Let me just open it. So you see the colors better. It is a very, very, very simple palette. It costs, let me check, it's like $3. Very simple. The packaging is very flimsy and, you know, nothing to write home about, but the colors are surprisingly good, you wouldn't believe. And to combine it, I used the Sleek palette of Sleek makeup, the Au Naturel 601 Sleek palette. Of that, I used, one second, how do I do this now? This color right here, and this color. This color I used up here, and this beautiful color I used on the eyelid itself. And for the rest of it, I used blue colors of all these shades. I used actually all of the blue shades. And I started with the lighter ones, and then I sort of darkened them towards the crease, and, you know, to give it a more feline look, I think it's called in English, to do that swipe out like this. And they are pretty good. You know, some people say that you should not put on your foundation and your powder and everything before you put on your eyeshadows because of all the fallout, it might ruin it all, whatever. There was basically no fallout. Okay, I had to go in several times and, you know, put several layers on to get the pigmentation right, but is that a big deal? No, it's really not a big deal. So I'm really, really, really surprised and very excited about using it. I have 2 more Sakara palettes like this in different shades. I'll show them to you in a different video when I'm using them. What I also do is I use the Beauty Care banana powder. Before I start putting my eyeshadow on, I use that here. I just dab it on with a beauty blender. That helps then to, if there should be fallout, because especially when you're trying new colors from a new brand that you've never used and you don't know how it's going to react, then you better be prepared. So it is a very yellowish powder. And I just take it with a beauty blender, dab it on like in all of the, like this area and this area, and I leave it on till I'm finished with my eyeshadow, and then I'll just brush it off. And if there is fallout, then it just takes it off just like that, and there is no problem at all. This powder costs nothing. It's very, very cheap. It's also like $3 or $2.50. Ridiculous. It's and it's good. It does the job. Is it the best in the world? I'm sure it's not. I'm very sure it's not. But does it the job? Totally. Totally. Yeah. And for the highlight, the inner eye highlight, I used again a Sleek palette. Sleek. They have very, very nice stuff, which is even a little bit more, like, it's more expensive than a lot of the other products I have. See the highlights? I used this color here. And a highlighter palette like this costs about $15, but it lasts forever, really. This is the highlighting palette Solstice 032. Okay. Yeah, then for contouring, I'm sorry, I'm jumping a little bit back and forth, but I'm just, you know, trying to be very relaxed about this all now. This is, of course, not necessarily the order I'm putting on things, but, you know, go with the flow. I am using right now, and that is also a thing that I've never thought I would, a contouring palette of Beauty Care, which is 20 shekels, costs 20 shekels. That is something like $4, something like that. It comes in these shades. This is a highlight, and those are, I mean, this is like a shimmery highlight. Don't know if it shows, if I'm swatching it for you, but it is shimmery. I have it actually here and here. And yeah, so I used this shade here for the contour. And then I went in with the bronzer from Miluka. Miluka is a very new Israeli brand. They came out something like maybe 2 months ago. Very affordable and pretty good. This one costs 32 shekels, which is in dollars. 1 second. $9. But it's very, very big. There's no way you're ever going to use that up. And it's good. It's very good. I use both shades. I just swirl around like this, and then I'm doing the, the bronzing all around the face. And I also used the blush from Miluka. They have like 6 different blushes. I have them all. This is one of them. I'm also using both shades there, and just put it on right between the shimmer, the highlight, and the contour. So I just put it on here, and then I, smudge it all so it all becomes more natural. That is that. Then the eyes, I finished them off with the Lash Princess from Sakara. That's the mascara I used for the upper eyelid. Very good product. Very inexpensive. It costs something like $3. The wand is, 1 second, looks like that, which I personally like. The curved wand, but only for the upper lash line. For the upper lashes. For the lower lashes, I like to use a straight wand. And in this case, I use the Pupa Ultra Flex Mascara, which I really like. I'm a huge Pupa fan, and I will do a Pupa tutorial a different time. It's an Italian brand. It is sort of a little bit more towards the high-end drugstore range, but this is the straight, very simple wand. It has, the application is amazing. So you have a lot of control when you use it for the lower lash line. So that's that. And for eyelining, I used these 2 little bunnies. They are already so used up, it's ridiculous. On this, I can't even read anymore what it was. I think it was L'Oreal eyeliner, and this one is from Bourjois Paris. They're just so small already. I'm using them forever, and I just really want to use them up before I buy new things. And I don't know if it shows much on camera, but on the lower lash line, towards the inside, I used this blue eyeliner from Essence, which is also very good. All of them, they have a lot of pigmentation. They come in so many colors. It's amazing. So yeah, and on my lips, I'm wearing a lip gloss from Jade, which costs something like $10, also towards the high-end range of the drugstore makeups. But I love it. I love everything from Jade. I've said that before. So yeah, what can I say? I have nothing to say against drugstore makeups. And not even that, also those extra cheap lines, they have a point there, It's, you need to maybe work a little bit harder to apply more eyeshadow in order to get the result that you want. But I also have to realize that I'm putting on stronger colors. I like stronger colors on my eyes. So not everybody needs that. If someone just wants a hint, then that point even doesn't apply to you, you know? Like if you just like a shimmer of pastel or something, then go for it and just apply it once, and that's what you get, and perfect. For me, I like it bold and extreme, so I will then put on 3 coats or whatever, but it is no issue at all. I'm totally blown away. I have 3 more palettes from Beauty Care that just came out, and I'm going to try them out and then let you know how it went, and maybe even in a tutorial in my new studio. Yeah, and so we'll see. So bottom line, my opinion, go for it. Go for it, and if it doesn't work for you, worst case, there is not a huge loss. A lot of times you hear when people review high-end products and they said, wow, I'm so sorry I bought this. It's, you know, there's so much fallout, and or even the whole eyeshadow came falling out, and it was all ruined and whatever. You hear stories, it's unbelievable, and you think, wow, I just paid $55 for 16 eyeshadows. Like I said, I really, really want to try all those things too. It's not possible for me right now. I hope it will be at some point. And I will be very happy to try out everything that is out there in the whole world, every makeup brand that is in every country in the whole world. And yeah, but right now I'm dealing with the local stuff, and it works. So I hope that helped you. I hope it encourages you to go and check out the local brands, or also the international drugstore brands, who are very, very good, and just work with it and grow with it. And once you've outgrown that, then feel free to move on to something else. And so we are all on a journey there. And yeah, so that's my word of advice. Now before I'm going to show you what I've been wearing during the last days, I would like you to write in the comments your experiences with affordable makeup, the products that you would recommend, or where you said that didn't work for you. I would be very, very interested in finding out about that. Or if you have questions and say, Leorah, please try this and that for us and show us what you think about it, let me know. I'll be very happy to do that. And yeah, so there we are, finishing my 5th video. I'm so excited that I'm doing this. And yeah, I'm so happy. And thank you for, you know, watching my video. Please, please subscribe, become part of the Leorah's kingdom, and give me a like. And recommend me to your friends and to your family. Share my videos on your own social media. I would really appreciate it. And I hope to see you here next time again. I'll be happy to welcome you into my studio. And now I hope you'll enjoy my latest looks. And till we meet again, hugs and kisses. Bye.